Hello, so in this tutorial I'll teach you how to manage your layers. So this tutorial is for advanced users, and suppose that you read our documentations and you know what are layers. So basically we'll do this through our diagram, to the layers diagram, and we'll show you what happened in our framework. So first thing to do is to log in our framework and choosing the Advanced Workspace. From this we go to the tools and choose manage layers. So after that it will open a diagram with the correspondent diagrams that we have in our framework. Basically this is what defines the structure of our framework. So as you can see, we have a presentation layer that is shown in the tabs, which is this current tab here, the interface. Then we have one business logic layer, which is this one that is showing here. We have two data access layers, which in this case to see we need to show advanced items to see the data access layers, which are here, the two of them. And then we have one DB layer with the correspondent drivers, which currently is just one, which is the MySQL. So if you go here, we'll see just one DB layer with the correspondent driver that it has, which is just one MySQL. Now what happened if I do some changes here? Automatically the tabs, it should be updated. So if I delete some, it will delete from here. If I add a new one, it will add here. So let me show you how does this work. So let's say that I want to add a new business logic layer, and let's call this BL. So let's erase this name and let's call this layer BL, business logic. Okay, now let's relate the presentation layer so it can call with this new layer, and the BL can talk with the HR layer, and that's it. Okay, so after this we save and rebuild the layers. Automatically it gives us some warnings, and after it is rebuilt, it says don't forget that you need to set the proper permissions in the user panel. Well, we'll see this later. Let me just show you what happened. So okay, so now the layers are saved. So in the logic layer now I should see two layers, and I see the SOA, which is this one, and the BL with the correspondent projects, with the correspondent folders. Now what happened if I change the project to specific projects? Automatically the navigator, it updates the files in the navigator for this specific project. If I go to the logic layer, I don't see the two layers here, I only see one layer. So by default the tabs, if you just have one layer, automatically it shows by default the files of that layer. Otherwise, if you have more than one layer, it shows first the layers and then you need to click to open the specific files. So in this case I can see that it's only showing the files of one layer, which is the SOA layer. So why is that? It's because we need to go to the user management panel and to give the correspondent permissions for this new layer to these projects. So how do we do this? We go to tools, we go to manage users, and in here we have manage layout types permissions. We click here, we choose our correspondent projects, and we go to our layer BL, and we see that we don't have any permissions defined here. If we go to the SOA, we see that we have all of these folders selected. So what we need to do is just select these correspondent files, save, and refresh the page. After we refresh the page, when we go to the logic, we can see now that we have the two layers that we created here. If we go back to the diagram, and if we erase one of the data access layers, it could be this or this one, automatically it should disappear from here and show only the files for the specific layer. So let's do that. Let's go back to our layers and let's delete, let's say, the IORN layer. I delete it. Now we just have this diagram here. I save and rebuild. Okay, it gives me the correspondent warnings. It says that now I have in my server I have a folder called YORN, because just by mistake, if you erased by mistake that folder, you can always recover it, so it doesn't really erase the files in that folder. What it does is doesn't show you in this framework, but you can access it through the server just in case. So basically you just need to click OK, and as we can see, it's saved correctly. We have the new diagram updated, it automatically refreshed the navigator, and we can see that is not showing in the data access layers, is not showing anymore the two layers, it's just showing one, the files of the H-horn layer. So basically, according with the changes that you do in this diagram, you create or delete or change the names of the correspondent layers that appears here in the tabs. Let's say that I want to have a new driver here, so I just need to drag and drop the driver here. I need to set up the correspondent credentials. So let's say, let's create a new, my first DB, some example. Okay, let's change here to saying another DB, and let's relate this guy here, and let's save and rebuild. Okay, diagram is saved. We can see here there are two databases. Now if we go to the database layer, I can see here that I have two databases here. One MySQL, which is this one, and this one, which is another one. And if we go to manage the references, the layouts, not the reference, the layouts of this project here, I can see that it's showing this database automatically because I'm showing this in the DB data. Instead of this, if I didn't have the DB data selected, if I had instead this one selected, when I create this other database, it won't show me here. I needed then to go here the same way that we did it in the business logic. Then I needed to go here and select this guy here. So basically, this allows you to create your own layers and to relate the permissions with the layers with the correspondent projects. If you want to filter the user permissions for specific layers and files, you can do that too, and that you can do it through here. There is a tutorial that explains this, where basically you go here and you have here the correspondent user types that you created, and in here you can manage what user has access to what. And that's it, so thank you very much.